good, family? It's your man the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, Gaza James, for coming through and maxing out the much needed donations right now. 100%, $50, salute general. So, what can I say on this one? Wow, a banging fight, yeah, and whilst I'm glad Parker got his pack smoked, it must be said, and whilst I was sceptical, in my pre-fight video I said ultimately a leopard don't change its spots, and I feel like Joseph Parker's almost become a B-side fighter. Yeah, he happy to turn up and lose. However, I'm going to start off by saying salute to Parker, because I was expecting him, or I thought there was a good chance Parker was going to go in there and just try to lose. Yeah, bear in mind, we've seen him in there with AJ. Parker turned up to lose to that fight, bottom line. You know what I mean? There's no way anyone can believe he turned up to win. And to be quite frank, yeah, if this Parker turned up to fight AJ, I think it could have possibly gone like the Ruiz 1 fight. Do you know what I mean? Because really, up until Ruiz 1, we haven't seen many people with fast hands put it on AJ. We've seen everyone come out and their ass is twitching, yeah? Parker versus AJ, his ass was twitching. He didn't want to get knocked out. Now, what tonight proved, Parker was in it to win it. He was either going to win or he was going to lose, and that's how it should be. People shouldn't really turn up and think, oh, I'm going to lose on points. People shouldn't turn up and pull a Hay versus Klitschko. Yeah? Imagine if Hay had turned up here and just tried to throw leather with Klitschko. He may have had a chance of winning the fight. Instead, Hay turned up and thought, oh, I don't really want to commit. Let me just sit at mid-range and lose on points and get my Barnet jabbed off. Do you know what I mean? That's dead. So like I said, I have to salute Parker and his team to some extent for changing his mindset. Now, on the flip side, people can say, well, YB, he went points with AJ and, you know, Parker's just taken his first stoppage loss. That's how it goes, people. Yeah? Bottom line is, yeah, Parker didn't win a round, more or less, against AJ. So what do you want to do? Do you want to turn up to lose and go distance? Or do you want to turn up and have a go? Parker tonight had a go. He had a chance of winning the fight. And there were certain rounds. Bottom line, Parker was, some people were thinking possibly, like, not a stoppage, but you know what I mean? He was doing damage. Well, damage. And the reason I say damage is because this guy Joyce, man, I've never seen a heavyweight, yeah, take shots like he takes shots. He takes them, but doesn't take them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen, there's no, like, off-balanceness. He literally takes it, and it's a little tiny adjustment, and then it's really quite odd. Normally, when people take a big right hand, for example, we've got reference. Chisora in there with Parker. When he took any big shot, yeah, you'd see him stumble back, he'd be off balance. That's not nothing special to Chisora. That's how it's supposed to be at heavyweight. A 250-pound trained man, quick man like Parker, hits you with a huge shot. You're supposed to be off balance. That's just how physics works. Yeah? Two different forces colliding. Yeah? Action, reaction. Bottom line. But for this guy, Joyce, man, he's Barnet. And it was interesting. Going into this fight, Joyce said that he had some scientific tests done. And it worked out his bone. His bones are like 5 times denser than any other, than the average man. And I thought, listen, well, what tonight proved was, he ain't lying. This guy got some next bones, man. His bones be thick. AJ need to start asking Joyce, where you get them bones from, man? Yeah, because whenever, 100%, AJ needs some bones like that. But listen, back to Joyce, because Joyce must be saluted for this. I was tweeting Joyce all week, obviously looking to try and protect my investment, and Joyce delivered, man. I really do have to salute Joyce, because Joyce, unlike any heavyweight really, number one, he did something Dillian White couldn't do. He did something AJ couldn't do. And Joyce actually went out of his way to get a stoppage. He could have sat back and said, oh, I'm winning on points and whatever else. No. Yeah? You don't hear Joe Joyce now saying, oh, my name's AJ and I want to prove I can box. Fuck, who the fuck would I watch that? No one wants to watch that. No one does. The fuck? Oh, I want to prove I can box. That's the first time AJ said that, was the Parker fight. Oh, I want to show everyone I can box. What? You want to show everyone you can bore everyone to tears. So I salute Joyce, because especially in this day and age, yeah, where you got the whole Floyd Mayweather thing. Oh, I want to show everyone I can box. And he could have quite easily sat back and said, you know what? Let me just not take no risk. And no, Joyce does what Joyce does. He carried on working away and digging away. And that's why ultimately, I told you, man, before the fight, my bets are points or 7-12. Now, as it happened, it's crazy how the odds went. Anyone who's watching the live odds market, yeah, the odds are pretty stable for up until an hour or two before the fight. Then crazy money started coming in for Parker. It went from about Joyce to win on some bookies. You put 100 on, you get 150 back. Now, at the peak of the height of the madness, it went from 100 on to get 150 back to 100 on to get 190 back. So it was almost 50-50. At the peak of the madness, and I think what it was when Tyson Fury showed up on the screen. And when the fans saw that Tyson Fury was in Joseph Parker's corner, that's when it went mad. People was gassed. And one of my dons said, Catalin, he said, listen, people think that, and I've been hearing it, the comment section, on my pre-fight video. Oh, YB, he's with Fury now. He's with Team Fury now. And Huey Fury was Team Fury. There's been a whole bunch of, what's that other bum? The bum who was on, or the bum who's supposed to be training Tyson. I've got his name now, the little small one. Yeah, he's been with listen, that guy, what's his name? I don't know, the little midget one, yeah. The little midget Don, who was supposed to be training Tyson Fury. He's been fighting on Tyson Fury shows and training with Tyson Fury and living with him for 10 years. And he no good. Yeah, so whilst I think psychologically to some extent Parker's improved, i.e. he's not... Parker, bottom line is, no one can sit here and say Parker is afraid to exchange. That was the case before. Go back and watch Parker versus Ruiz. Go back and watch Parker versus AJ. Scared, nervous to exchange. Now he don't have a problem letting his hands go, and really that is quite a big hurdle to overcome. So I do have to salute Andy Lee. However, there's maths, in my opinion, there's maths in this game. Joyce is a big man, an accurate man, and a huge gas tank of cardio. Yeah, and you can have all the mind you want. If you don't have the cardio, you're going to be shit out of luck. And that's almost a trade-off. It's all well and good. People were saying, YB, Parker's punching so much harder now. Parker's speed, yeah. Speed and power is all well and good. If number one, it translates into a KO. But number two, speed and power is only good if you've got the cardio underlining it. Yeah, you can have all the power you want. If you ain't got no gas after 6 rounds, it's no good. And that was the thing here. To bet on Parker, you had to believe that Parker was going to get Joyce out of there within 6. Because anyone who's watched Parker fight will know Parker's done after 6 rounds. You should know that. That's basic stuff. Oh, why be the speed? So it's either what? It was either Parker was going to get Joyce out of there in the first 6 rounds, which even that, well, I don't know what planet people was on. There's nothing to show that Joyce was going to get smoked in 6 rounds. Nothing. There was no evidence of that. Oh, but why be... Parker's training with Fury now. The fuck? What's that going to do? Parker isn't a one-punch artist. He's not. Yeah? And if he was, he'd have got Chisora out of there. Wouldn't he? Bottom line. That's the whole thing. Chisora was dead in that second fight. And Parker couldn't finish his dinner. Yet people want me to believe the best chin in the division was going to get smoked by Parker early. Come on now. And to be fair, Parker was gassing you man up. Saying, oh yeah... when he was giving it the whole Eddie Hearn apples and pears. Oh yeah, I'm with Fury now, and Joyce is too slow, and it was all that kind of... I ain't gonna lie, Joyce, he is slow, but I don't know how he does it, yeah. He's slow, he's methodical, his technique. You man know from our pre-fight video, I'm not impressed with his defense. I think I'd much prefer, yeah. I think Joyce can add facets to his game. I'd love to see Joyce. In my opinion, fighters should have different looks. Yeah, in my mind, there's different looks. So you've got the Canelo look, high guard. You got the Mayweather look where you got the low hand and you know what I mean, the low lead hand and the kind of switch guard, and then you got the Vladimir Klitschko kind of one where you got the Bivol one more, yeah, it's more relaxed. So you got the Mike Tyson, then you got the Bivol, and then you got the Floyd more so. They're the three looks in my mind. Joyce kind of in the middle of all of them. And that's, to be fair, where quite a few fighters find themselves. Rather than breaking things up methodically, 3 different looks. Super tight, a bit loosey-goosey, and then purposefully, you know what I'm saying? Rather than do that, they end up just here. And you'll see Joyce many times like, dung, 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 just, your hands ain't doing nothing here. Maybe they're protecting your body a little bit more, but what good's that? For the most part, your body ain't going to be a problem. It's your head. In the end, especially a heavyweight, that ends up being a problem. But listen, Joyce, part of the reason I didn't want to watch this fight live was because I knew Parker was going to get the right hand off. I just didn't want to watch that. I didn't want to watch, especially after the hammer fight. And listen, Parker got the right hand off a few times. He got combinations off a few times. And Parker strategically started off pretty well. I said in my pre-fight build-up video that I thought that Parker's plan would be to punch with Joyce, and really, when Park had cardio, yeah, he was doing that. There's several times where Joyce would go to throw a jab, and you'd see Parker double it up immediately. Great game plan. And another time when Joyce went to throw a jab, and Parker just started leaping in with triple, quadruple hooks. That's how you'd have to beat Joyce. Punch with him, beat him to the punch, especially with Parker's speed. The problem was, all that speed and power is all well and good, but it comes at a cost in the back half. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost, Parker couldn't win this fight. He would have had to have properly knocked out Joe Joyce in 6 rounds. Bottom line, there was no way. There was no way. I just can't see it. People forget that Parker, go back and watch Parker vs. Joyce 2, yeah? Parker vs. Chisora 2. Chisora, who'd been put down 3 or 4 times, won the last 3 rounds. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, if you're losing the last 3 rounds against a man who's 40 years old and who doesn't have a great gas tank himself, that's a problem. Not to mention, for me, what sealed the deal was the fact the weigh-in. Parker weighed in a career heaviest. I want you, man, to appreciate this, yeah? And this is something I do have to say against Andy Lee. I've given Andy Lee the ultimate credit, yeah, for being able to turn Joseph Parker around. I didn't think it'd be possible. Normally, when people are gun shy and they're losers, they're B-level guys, yeah, normally a leopard don't change its spots. To some extent, Andy Lee, I think's achieved that. Because I've never seen Parker in there exchanging the way he's exchanging. However, I think the weight has been extremely poorly mismanaged. When Parker fought AJ, he weighed in 236 pounds. This weekend, he weighed in 255, and he even looked soft. Parker before, yeah, was like this thick, slim, thick guy. He was thick, and you could see he was thick and strong, almost like a semi-Mike Tyson kind of look. And then he went into this fight looking like John Fury, with a John Fury belly. Everyone's there. It wasn't a good look. And really, when you already know you've got cardio issues down the back straight, I can't see the justification for adding 20 extra pounds. Can anyone explain what they was on? Can someone please explain to me what Team Fury or what Team Parker were thinking? Yeah, let's go in there and add 20 pounds. Bear in mind as well, people, let's not forget, I've heard some idiots saying, well, he wanted to compete with Joyce on the size. Listen, a game plan. Your game plan should never be to compete with Joyce on size. You're never going to win that one. Where's the logic in that? It's like Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz started saying that as well. Oh, I'm better when I'm bigger. I don't believe it. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. I don't believe someone can be better bigger, carrying dead weight. Yeah? Now, Parker's game plan was supposed to be speed and, you know what I mean? Speed and counter-punching. Now, in my mind, speed and counter-punching, how is that helped by adding 20 pounds of weight? There's this really bad casual myth. A lot of casual fans have this myth, yeah, that just putting on dead weight adds to power. If anything, it reduces your power. The great trainers understand speed kills. Being big and bulbous don't kill. Being big, bulbous and slow and having no gas because you carry... Do you know how heavy 20 pounds is? 20 pounds is a big weight for already big men. Throwing big shots. So you're already at the limit. And then you're adding 20 pounds to that. So it's kind of like... It was almost... Team Parker achieved some things but went in a complete opposite way. Parker, in my opinion, shouldn't have been a pound over 240. When you look at AJ, for example, AJ, 6'6", yeah, and is much more naturally mesomorphic. He's much more naturally thicker built than Parker, yeah. How is AJ weighing in 240, 244, and you've got Parker, who's a lot shorter, a lot less naturally muscular, weighing in 255? What's that about? That's really bad management. Really bad. And that's ultimately, I believe, what caused Parker to get stopped. I think if Parker had been 240 pounds, he'd have been carrying 15 pounds less, yeah, and that would have given him more, that extra bit of cardio, which would have enabled him to keep his speed up and keep his kind of movement up. Because that is something that's dropped off massively. So well and good, Parker's exchanging more, yeah, but his movement's completely gone. He almost doesn't move anymore. He's almost become a bit of a plodder, if you get what I mean. And that is the trade-off to some extent. If you want to exchange more, you become more of a plodder. But I think Parker needs to find, or should have been able to find a balance here. I don't know what they were thinking. We're going to go. But basically, it looked tonight almost as if Parker thought he was going to go toe-to-toe with Joyce. Bad strategy. Anyway, moving on to Joyce. Like I said, man, I salute Joyce. Joyce is my guy. Joyce is my guy for turning up. A lot of people was hating, especially in the odds market. A lot of people was hating, especially towards the end, before the fight started. Oh, Joyce is slow. Parker's going to knock Joyce out. Trust me, I saw a bunch of goofy dons in my comment section. I feel to bring it up. Bunch of goofies. Oh, YB. Oh, you're going to lose money, YB. Oh, Parker's going to box his head off. But honestly, people was gassed. It was mad. I thought, what? I thought, whatever anyone says, yeah, there's no way Parker going to box anything up. I couldn't understand that one. Not even a little bit. Oh, Parker easy points. What the fuck? What have you, man, been watching? Parker can't even beat Chisora easy on points. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Who has Parker ever beat easy on points? Go on. He went life and death with Dillian, life and death with AJ, life and death with Chisora, and you're talking about easy points. People got to get realistic here. But again, I think a lot of cats brought into the whole Fury shtick. Now, on the Joyce side, I've got to admit, I got a little bit worried going into the fight, because Joyce weighed in equally career heaviest, 271. Now, Joyce himself, he has only weighed 250 before. So I'm not sure now, as it happens, it didn't affect Joyce in the main, but I was wondering why such a big fluctuation? 20 pounds, man, that's a lot of damn weight. Again, especially when you got AJ down at 250, or especially when you got AJ, who again, in my opinion, is more bulky. And if he's 244, I don't think Joyce should be more than 255, to be honest. But either way, he came in 270 and he did the business. Still, going forward, if I was managing Joyce, I wouldn't have him more than 255 again. Because I think whatever you can do, yeah, at 270, I can't understand it. Unless you're sick, I can't understand. 15 pounds for someone who already, don't forget people, Joyce is already slow. He don't need no more weight. And also, I think that he'd only have more cardio. That, in my opinion, is dead weight. As it happens, it didn't end up costing him. But I do wonder what these guys are doing in camp. I just don't believe people, should be fluctuating 20 pounds. That don't make no sense in my mind. But yeah, going back to the performance from Joyce. Joyce did what Joyce does. He didn't show Parker as much respect as I was expecting him to be honest. And Joyce, after the fight, even said, listen, Daniel Dubois, he hits like a truck. Parker, he don't bang like that. And that's ultimately what it was. And that's what I love about Joyce, because Joyce, he treats you the way he feels you. Yeah, Joyce felt something from Dubois, and he treated him accordingly. Now, Joyce didn't feel nothing from Hammer and just walked through him. And Parker was almost in the middle of them too. Joyce, in the Dubois fight, was on the back foot for the whole lot of it. Whereas tonight we found out that Joyce just really, for the most part, didn't respect Parker at all and was happy to go in there and take the shots and Honestly, his chin is truly a phenom. And I'd love to see the Joyce versus Wilder fight, to be honest. I think that would be a great test for both men. Because you might know me, I've been skeptical of Wilder's greatest of all time power for a while now. Now, if Wilder goes in there, yeah, and stone colds Joyce, which really, if Wilder has all this power, yeah, that's what should happen. Because Joyce, he is a sucker for a right hand. Literally, it's perfect. It's almost perfectly set up to test Wilder out. Because Joyce, he doesn't have the greatest head movement. He will be hit by a right hand. Dubois, who's a lot slower, a lot less tricky with the right hand, has hit Joyce a few times. So we know for a fact Wilder will land clean at some point with a right hand. I want to see it, truth be known. And that'll be the test for me. If Wilder lays down Joyce cold here, I'll put him on the pedestal of the hardest one-punch artist of all time. These are the kind of fights we need to see, bottom line. And I love the way Joyce has been going about his business. Yeah, he stopped Dubois. Dubois has been chewing on people for fun. Joyce stops him. He stops the other guy, Parker now. He's doing things people can't fathom. For example, how many of you man think Dillian White is gonna stop Dubois? Exactly, I think Dubois chews Dillian White, or it's at least a 50-50 fight. You know what I'm saying? How many people here think AJ gonna chew up Dubois and stop him? Exactly. We know for a fact Dillian went life and death with Parker, and that was a worse version of Parker, wasn't it? Let's be real now. Dillian White went life and death with a worse version of Parker. AJ went points, couldn't even hurt Parker. Never mind stop him. And by the way, Parker was bust up as well. This wasn't a case of, he caught him with a shot. Parker was bust up. Yeah? After the AJ fight, Parker was fine. Parker was cut to smithereens, eye all bust up. And that's what I mean. Joyce has this deceptive, ultimately it's accuracy. And before the fight, I said to you, listen, Joyce, you can call Joyce what you want, but he wasn't slow enough not to hit Daniel Dubois. You know what I'm saying? Joyce is so slow. Listen, if Joyce is that slow, why did Daniel Dubois' eye end up all bust up, innit? He ain't that slow, is he? And again, same thing. Why be Joyce so slow? If Joyce is that slow, why did Parker, who's supposed to be this kind of slickster, why did he end up all bust up? And I gotta be honest, I have to give Joyce even more credit than I was expecting. Even though I was fully backing Joyce, yeah, I didn't expect him to do what he did. I honestly thought Parker was going to be slick enough to certainly not get his face all twist up. And his face was bust up. And that is just salute to Joyce, man. Joyce and a lot of people, yeah, was writing Joyce off. A whole bag of people was saying, Dave Caldwell was saying, all this giving it all them. You know what's there? Everyone gassing Parker up. Like he's Parker's redeemed himself to some extent. Parker showed he can turn up and half have a go. But all the woofing, and even Parker himself, and I guess that's what you got to do, but still, Parker before the fight, he too slow. He like a zombie. Oops. You just got mollywopped. Look at my man's face. This is what you call a mollywopping. Yeah? He whopped it, listen. Joe Joyce whooped this dude like he owed him something. You know, it was one of them ones. Look at this don hair, man, all twist up. His face, his barnet, all twist up right now, and rightfully so. And that's what Joyce does. I love Joyce. It's got to be said. I love Joyce. Yeah, I love the way he turned up when it matters. Do you know what I'm saying? People slagged him off, and even myself. I was tweeting him saying, I was tweeting him from a positive point of view. I was tweeting him saying, bro, tighten your shit up, man. Thinking about the Hammer fight back in July. But guess what? Joyce, unlike a lot of people, AJ can't turn up. Yeah, when it matters. Anyone can turn up versus Bumps. What do you do on your big nights? Joyce stops Dubois. Joyce stops Parker. Two people who have never been close to being stopped. Joe Parker, for the most part, hasn't even been down. You know what I'm saying? Dubois hasn't, never mind. Dubois ain't, you know what I mean? Dubois has been running through everyone. That Trevor Bryan would give people... AJ and Trevor Bryan will go 50-50. And yet, Dubois just chewed through him. And we saw what Joyce did. So Joyce, man, is a serious guy. I love it. I love what Joyce is doing. And part of me wishes he just had some more speed. But really, so far anyway, it's not costing him. And that isn't the be all and end all, it seems. It really does. The cliché's been timing beats speed. Accuracy beats speed and all that other stuff. And I've heard it for a while and I think I ain't talking shit, but Joyce is the evidence and the proof that attributes, of course he's big as well, but really, Joyce, for the most part, he doesn't abuse his attributes, does he? For example, I'd say Fury versus Vlad 1. I'd say that was Tyson Fury abusing his attributes. Yeah, he's 7 foot tall and he's nicking in and dancing off. That for me is it's almost like cheating. Joyce doesn't do that. Joyce will stand in front of you. How many tall, big dudes, stand in front of small guys? Who does that? We saw what AJ did with Ruiz. He shit himself and ran off. And that's another great fight. Joyce versus Ruiz. And that's what I mean. The great thing about Joyce is, you know he gonna, you know what I mean? You know he ain't gonna fold. You know he ain't gonna try and find a way out. You know he's gonna go in there and give a pure account of himself. I love that. Especially in this day and age where you got people like, or especially when people are trying to gamble, and you got cats like AJ out there with little midget middleweights. Joe Joyce just showed you that's how you treat smaller men, people. AJ, watch up. Yeah? AJ and his team need to sit down and watch. That's how you deal with small men. Yeah? You don't play tiddle. You know what I mean? Joyce could have come out, and played tiddle taddle with this dude. No, he out there, sticking it on him, giving as good as he gets. And that's why he got the prize. That's why he on top at 37 years old. So what the fuck? What is AJ? Wait a minute, AJ. You're 32 years old. What the fuck's your excuse? Yeah? Joyce is essentially an old man. And Joe Joyce is old manning these dudes. Yeah? Oh, he old. Oh, he slow. Listen, his old slow ass whooped on you. I love Joyce. I really got to say this, I really would love Joyce to go all the way. Now, I've got a video coming later on about the whole Joyce versus Fury thing. But I really would. I'd love to see Joyce beat Wilder. I'd love to see Joyce beat Ruiz. He, in my opinion, he deserves it all. As far as today's, particularly UK crop go, he is the top of the list in my mind. In terms of turning up and delivering, not making no excuses. You know what I mean? Not you know what I mean? All them kind of things there. Not trying to, not sitting back and resting on his laurels. He came out of that 11th round like a bat out of hell, looking for it. Who does that? Who does it? You know what I'm saying? I give Fury some credit. To be fair, when Fury fought Wilder, he kind of put it on him. You know what I mean? So there's a few. We've got a few top guys. Obviously, Fury and Joyce for me now are the top ones. The jury's out on on Wilder versus Joyce. And if Joyce was the underdog for that fight, I'd definitely back him on the coin basis. Because I'm not convinced about Wilder's power. I'm just not. That's just me though. Maybe I'm a hater. And that's the great thing about, that's the great thing. Yeah? Wilder needs someone like Joyce on his resume. Because really, Wilder's beat no one. Okay, Luis Ortiz. Wilder has one genuine fighter on his resume. He needs to get the Joyces and the Ruizes on there if he wants to be considered a real dude. Because right now all he has is two stoppage losses to Fury and a win over Ortiz. Which, to be quite frank, I think if Ortiz was genuinely 35 years old, who knows how that fight goes. Yeah, Wilder's beat a 49, 50-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit like that. But anyway, salute to both men. Parker did the best he could with the tools he had. Parker just ain't that level. Parker is the B level. He is C level. Bottom line. That's what it comes down to. Yeah? You can hang around with Fury all you want. You're B level. Joyce, he the A level. Is he the A-star level? Time will tell. I'm not sure what to make of it, but what we do know is, every day, every time, Joyce turns up, he delivers in devastating fashion. Do you know what I'm saying? It's one of them ones for me. It's all well and good saying. Even I'm sceptical, thinking, I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, man, he'd turn up, he'd deliver. Back to back to back to back to back. When it matters. He might not look the best when it's some dead fight. When it matters, he turn up. And that's what counts in competitive sport. It's no good being a big hard ass when you're fighting bums like AJ. Yeah? Who's that good for? AJ is a great bum slayer. Yeah, AJ looks real bad and real dangerous against bums. But the minute you put him in there with someone decent, you getting turned over. Who the fuck? What's that good for? Who the fuck wants to watch that? Who the fuck wants to watch you beat bumps? No one. Anyway, let's go through some coins here. So, to finish off with the gambling. So, I ended up kind of, when it went mad, when all the Tyson Fury money started going on to Parker, the odds went crazy. At one point, it ended up like 3.2 for Joyce to win on points. So the way I was set up for Joyce to win on points, or Joyce to win from a kind of 7 to 12 round KO. But then when the odds started going crazy, and I started seeing I could make like 2.5 times my money for Joyce to win points, I started loading money on, and that's what you saw here. So the money I would have made, I was set to make 1,500, and then I started going crazy, thinking, damn, licking my chops, thinking the points win was going to come in. So that's what that got taken down. So I ended up making about 500 on that one, which is annoying. And then this one came through as well, and that's just the Joyce to win 7 to 12. So I made a bit of coin, but I'm annoyed that. Well, I'm not annoyed. I'm happy for Joyce, even though it would have benefited me for Joyce to only win on points. I'm happy for him to. I'd be a hypocrite. I'm always talking about people should get the stoppage, and obviously, selfishly speaking, I'd have preferred Joyce to go points. But for what it's worth, for the sport's sake, I'm glad Joyce did what he did. Because too many weird ass dudes, yeah. I mean, we just saw Shakur Stevenson. Here's another one, in my opinion. I'm sick of hearing about how I'm sick of hearing about how skillful people are. Back in the 80s and 90s, yeah, skillful, it translated into getting stoppages and or at least seeking stoppages. The best fights between the best people was a case of two men looking to cause damage. It wasn't a case of, well, let's see who can fanny around the most. You know what I mean? If you're that skillful, you stop people. The ultimate prize in boxing isn't self-preservation, people. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather changed the whole game. Oh, the number one goal is self-preservation. No, the number one accolade in boxing is knockouts and stoppages. But ultimately, there's a pyramid. The ultimate pinnacle of the sport is a clean KO. Below that would be a TKO. Below that would be a doctor stoppage. Below that would be a... Do you know what I mean? That's how the hierarchy is. Now, Floyd came along and he ain't got no power and he ain't got no balls, so he tried to change the whole narrative. Oh, no, it's not about KOs. It's about going in there and not getting touched. Oh, well, you know, fighting's a hard game and I want to be able to speak when I'm 50. Yeah, that's all well and good, yeah. But that ain't helping no one but yourself. That's the bottom line. You're not giving nothing back. Yeah? And besides, if you're that skillful, yeah, go in there, stop the guy, and still don't get hit. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the way Yamato designed and trained Mike Tyson, yeah, to stop people and to do so whilst being defensively, whilst being defensively prudent. Do you understand? And that's the ultimate. Yeah? The ultimate thing is to go in there, be elusive, and seek the stoppage. But it's extremely hard to do. It's extremely hard, yeah. Anyone really, yeah. It's easy to be, defensive and take less risk. Really, to be quite frank, yeah, that's the easiest thing to do. The easiest thing in the ring to do, yeah, is to go in there and be nervous, kind of thing. Anyone can do that. The hard thing is to go in there and it's easy to be evasive when you're being defensive. Yeah? It's easy not to get hit when you're being defensive. Now, the hard challenge is to go in there and be evasive when you're being offensive. That's the ultimate pinnacle of skill. But going in there, touching people, and then not being touched yourself. At the peak of Mike Tyson's career, that's what we saw. Yeah? But these Floyd guys and these Devin Haney's, and I'm not knocking Devin Haney, I like what he's doing, but it's almost like a hack in a way. Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, they've almost hacked the game. Yeah, they've got great speed, great skills, and they, rather than using that to truly exploit their opponents. For example, I believe Devin Haney could stop Kambosos, but rather than go in there and take a little bit more risk, yeah, and they'd rather go in there and think, well, what's the point taking more risk? I can go in there and just use one hand. Like, for me, boxing, yeah, is not one hand. If all you're doing is jabbing all night, I ain't trying to watch that. It's not. Yeah? To go in there, especially when you're in there with people who are truly inferior. I'm not saying go in there, yeah, and put your chin in the air and just start swinging left and right. What I am saying is, when you've been in the ring with George Kambosos for 4 or 6 rounds, and it's clearly evident, he's not on your level. It's clearly evident you've won 6 rounds in a row. At that point, start taking it. Start building up now. Start, you know what I mean? Start increasing your output. Start increasing the gulf. Start, you know what I mean? Start intriguing about a stoppage. Don't just sit back and say, well, I've won the first 6 rounds. I'll just repeat that. Again, it's all well and good for you. But it ain't that good for no one else. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't show how good you really are. That's the Floyd Mayweather way of doing things. If you're really that good, yeah, show us how good you are. Yeah, show us how you stop someone without getting hit. That's the ultimate. But anyway, man, listen. I don't know how I got onto that I'm not sure how I got onto that story. It's been a good day's work for what it's worth. Salute to Joyce. Salute to Parker. Both men had to put a good innings in. Yeah? I'm praying for all the Parker Dons. I feel to go. In fact, you know what? Let's go through some Parker Dons, man. Yeah? Let me be that. Let your man the YB be that guy today. Your man the YB gonna be that guy, 100%. He can do your man wrong right now. Let's go through all the goobers on here. Yeah? Him before the YB gonna do the goobers wrong right now, 100%. Let's do these goobers wrong. Yeah? Because you man was doing way too much in the comment section. And again, I understand. Listen, I lose bets all the time. But some of you man, way too confident with it. You know what I'm saying? Some of you cats, way too confident. It's kind of mad. Let's see the comment section. Here we go. What the fuck's that about? Stupid ass thing. Why do they keep taking the comment section away? Dumbasses, man. You two are proper dumbasses, man. I swear down. Dumbest guys I've ever met in my life. Here we go. Here we go. The only top-level fighter Joyce has fought is an over-the-hill Jennings. Parker nearly stopped White and went 12 with John Stewart and beat Ruiz. Parker, for me, will stop Joyce. Oh my God. Oh my God. And that's why I tell people, yeah, put your coin up. Too many opinions in this game. In my opinion, yeah, I'm not listening to anyone's opinion. If you ain't got no coin up, I ain't trying to hear it. Because you're just woofing. And same for me. Listen, if I tell you something, yeah, and I don't put coin up, don't listen to me. Because you're just talking, innit? What matters is what you put coin behind. Because otherwise you don't believe it. Yeah? If someone says something to me, you better show the coin. Otherwise, don't bother. Otherwise, just keep your mouth shut, innit? Or otherwise, at least tell people that. If I tell you something, yeah, and I'm not sure, I'll say, listen, that's my opinion, but I ain't putting money behind it. You must put the disclaimer. Oh, Parker will stop Joyce. Well, if Parker's going to stop Joyce, yeah, you can make, and people say things like, oh, I don't gamble. Well, wait there a minute. If you're telling me Parker's going to stop Joyce, you can make 10 times your money. I'm pretty sure it was close to 10 to 1 for Parker to get a stoppage over Joyce. You can make, so it's irrational. If you really believe Parker can stop Joyce, why would you not make 10 times your money? Exactly. You're capping. Yeah? Here we go. YB, what you smoking there? You on one of them ones, smoking all the while. Open Nose Records, my son, have a look. C. Question, who has Joyce faced? Answer, nobody. Silly no names. Let you clear the air, then repost. Your rep is on the line. Oh my God, this guy laughing. Yeah, this cat here must post his betting slips right now, because he going through it. Yeah, the only person laughing now, it's not this cat here. He going through it 100%. Listen, we must pray for Peter Taylor right now. He down bad. Yeah? This has draw written all over it. To be fair, and that's the thing, I started getting spooked when I saw the odds go crazy for Joyce. Against Joyce, I thought, shit, what am I not seeing here? You know what I'm saying? I started getting nervous as well. He wants to match Joyce for his size. He is about 1.5 stone over his natural fighting weight. Yeah, I mentioned that. Ridiculous. Really poor management. I wonder what the fuck these teams are doing, honestly. There's no fighter in my camp here can add 20 pounds over his fighting weight. Not happening. Not in a month of Sundays. I don't care what you're trying to add. Yeah? Here we go. Yep, fair point. Parker's renowned speed will be subdued at 255. Absolutely. Joyce is getting a big height push. Haven't seen anything impressive skill-wise. Parker, here we go. Told you. Parker should box his ears off. Parker looks average unless he gets a bit more aggressive. Here we go. Look, I told you, man. These men were gassing. Hard. Easy work for Parker. Joyce gets dropped. Oh my god. Easy work for Parker. Joyce gets dropped early. Parker too fast. And Joyce got no defense. Damn. It's bad. We must pray for Bolo right now. Yeah? Bolo Dolo. 100%. Bolo out here making YOLO bets. Yeah? I know whatever lie. This kind of bet here is what I call a YOLO bet. Joyce to get dropped. I was out there on betting. I was requesting bets for Joyce not to get dropped. I'm pretty sure I can show you, man, here. I was literally ringing off. You wouldn't believe how many times I was spamming. Sky. Here we go, look. I was spamming Sky. Your request for Joyce to win by UD and Joyce not to be knocked down. There was a whole bag of them. I'm sure there is, look. Yeah, there's a whole bag of bets here, look. Your request for Joyce to win exactly by TKO in rounds 9 to 12 and Joyce not to be knocked down. I was pretty sure Joyce weren't going to get cooked. Yeah? Anyway, let's go back to the comments before I finish up. I'ma be shocked if Joyce wins. Wow. I think you're in for a shock. Parker stops Joyce. Oh my god. It's a 50-50, bro. People, in my opinion, they start listening to the hype. You have to go based on evidence, in my opinion. Parker stops Joyce. Based on what, though? Parker categorically can't stop a man twice who has been stopped before by bum fighters. We know Dillian White's a bum. We know Dillian White, is completely useless. And he stopped Chisora. Parker had 2 cracks at the cherry against Chisora. Chisora, who was knackered after 2 rounds. And Parker could not finish his dinner. Joyce, meanwhile, has been taking shots off Daniel Dubois and didn't even look phased against Dubois. And then people coming up with Parker stops. I'm sorry, I just don't get that one. I'd love for someone to explain it to me. Because you must be imagining things. Parker, fair enough, let's say Parker put down AJ, for example. And even when Parker put down Dillian White, that was because of cardio. So even that doesn't hold up. Because you can't even say, well, YB, Parker put down Dillian White. Well, no. He put down a man who was knackered. We know that already. But what do we know about Joyce? Joyce don't get knackered. So it's not one of them ones. I think you're wrong about Parker. I genuinely think he held back on Chisora because they were friends, or had too much respect to finish him when he had nothing left. You man are, honestly, you man are mad. Parker wins by points or stoppage. Honestly, most of these comments, people was riding Parker hard. I was trying to work out what I was missing. we go. This one here was my favourite. Parker will smash Joyce up. Parker is the perfect way. Oh my. And this is the problem, you see. I guarantee you this cat here, yeah, is a big Fury Man fan. This thing here, yeah, is completely delusional. Parker is the perfect weight for her. What the fuck? Her career heaviest. 20 pounds heavier. Based on what? He got this. That's the thing again. I told you, the casual fans think power. Think power just means weight. Honestly, we heard it before the AJ vs Ruiz 2 fight. Oh, YB Ruiz coming in 50 pounds heavier. He coming for power. Oh. People need to understand. For anyone out there, yeah, this cat here, Mr. Carlos. Let me help you out. Adding dead weight don't make you more powerful. In my opinion, it makes you less powerful. Because number one, in physics, the bigger your load is, the harder it is to move. So all you end up is being slower. There's a trade-off, yeah. There's two things that can increase power. Velocity or weight. And a human, we're not running on diesel. So you can't just increase the energy. Do you know what I'm saying? Humans have more or less a fixed level of energy. So when you increase the weight, you can't just... Where is he going to get the extra horsepowers from? Yeah? So the weight's going to be moving slower. So it's all a trade-off. And ultimately, the weight is negative because it drains your cardio. And we actually saw that in the fight tonight. Parker in the Chisora fight lasted 6 rounds really, before his wheels fell off. Tonight, he was gassed after about 3 rounds. Parker was hanging after 3 rounds. And that's what 20 pounds does. I like Joyce, but his power is overrated. He is a hype train. I'm sorry, but I haven't heard the Joyce hype train. I've heard people hyping Parker. I've heard people hyping Dubois. Most people have been picking against Joyce, to be honest with you. If Joyce can't grab hold and walk you to the ropes, then he can't let his punches off. Joyce needs you on the ropes or the corner to plant his feet and let his shots go. I disagree with that as well, because Joyce didn't have Dubois on the ropes at all. Joyce boxed Dubois' ears off all night, so that's not true. He doesn't need you on the ropes. I mean, if he gets you on the ropes, that's great, but he can win fights without that. He has a great jab, and that's what, end of the day, look at Parker's Barnett. Yeah? There's a reason Parker's head top is all mushed up right now. Here we go, look, another one. Parker bringing power. Oh my god. Parker bringing power, they said. I'm convinced Parker stops Joyce. Oh no. Parker hitting hard now. Oh, again, it's the Tyson Fury effect. People think, ooh, look what Sugar did with Tyson Fury. Look what Sugar Hill did. Oh, Andy Lee can do it. Listen, Parker wasn't like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was pillar-fisted. Parker was never pillar-fisted. You know what I'm saying? Parker, for the most part, he always had decent punch technique. So in my mind, he wasn't suddenly... To increase power, you've got to do one of two things, really. Change your technique, or suddenly gain training somehow. But these guys have been... Joseph Parker has been training for 15 years. There's only so many ways to train. You're only going to... I don't believe Andy Lee got the secret to power. The reason Tyson Fury made big change was because of how he punches. Tyson Fury was a slapper. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was for Fury. Fury changed his technique. That's it. There was no magical training. Tyson Fury started sitting down on his shots. Parker, though, through his whole career, really, Parker hasn't been a slapper. Parker's got a pretty good punch technique, and that's the issue. Andy Lee can't magically come in and give him Mike Tyson-like power. I see Joyce getting stopped. Here we go. Joe Joyce, whatever his name is the most overrated fighter ever. Slow as F and never fought anyone. Oh, we must pray for Paul. Paul, I'm praying for you right now. You must be going through it. Because I'm sorry, yeah. whatever you say about Joyce, he schooled Daniel Dubois, and for what it's worth, yeah, let's look at who's Parker beat. Wait a minute. Okay, let's say for example, yeah, Joyce ain't beat no one. Who Parker beat? Lost to White, lost to AJ. Oops. Joyce stopped Dubois, and I'm not being funny here. Dubois versus Parker. How do you think that goes? I'll tell you how it don't go. I'd bet money Parker don't stop Dubois. That's what I'd bet on. Oops. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a good chance Joyce stops. I think there's a good chance Dubois would stop Parker, especially now that he's slowing round. I think Dubois just have too much for him. So I think people just like to hate Joyce. I don't know what it is about Joyce, but he just doesn't seem to. People like to hate him. Joyce couldn't KO Bryant, and you're right. That's why I went with points. I have to admit that the Bryant fight was weird. Although Bryant has good technique, and also what Bryant did that Parker didn't was self-preservation. Watch the Bryant fight. Bryant only punched when Joyce, or Bryant only, end of the day, man. Bryant went in there to survive. Yeah, Bryant wasn't in there to win. Bryant wasn't in there exchanging with Joyce. Bryant would sit on the ropes with a tight guard, like Garcia versus Usyk, and just take the shots. And we know that already. We know people can survive. For example, watch Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. Yeah? Mikey Garcia went the distance with Errol Spence. Your Dennis Ugas didn't. Now, people can say, Mike Garcia is better than Ugas. No, Ugas actually went in there and exchanged with Spence. And when you're in a fight, and you're trying to win, you exchange, you get caught. Or you can go in there like Mikey Garcia did and put your elbows in, put your chin down. It's very hard, to stop a man who's just defending. Because it's hard. It's a bit like Callum Smith versus Canelo. Another example. Callum Smith went in there and to survive. And he survived. It's almost impossible to stop a man who wants to just survive. Oh no. Fat Joe's getting KO'd. Oh, we must pray for my doggy Stewarty right now. Yeah, you going through it right now, 100%. My doggy Paul Johnson come through, boosted up right now. That's a good shout still. Nice shout. Parker heard that 2022 is not the year of the big buff burly Don. Yeah. Wow, this cat here came through. Look at this. Joyce to win by KO in the 11th. Fair play to Coogan. Yeah, fair play to Mr. Coogan. Cassius. Wow, Coogan Cassius nailed it. My mind, them odds were paying 30x. So, whatever this cat put on, he made 30 times his money. Congrats. You put 100 quid on, you got $3,000 back. That's a nice little win, nice little earner. Oh no, my doggy Daniel Crawford, man. I got Parker on points. About to lose a whole lot of coin. I'm praying for you, my bro. You going through it right now. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, and yeah, we'll be back 100%.